Well, welcome to this Harford Showcase event on the Harford TV. I'm Don Morrison along with my partner Barb Solberg. Barb, we're at Fallston High School, actually Fallston Fire Department, if the truth be known, but near the Fallston High School. The field, let's talk about that first of all before we talk about the weather. I came here today sometime around 12:30, 1 o'clock. I said, no way are they going to play this game on this field. It looked like a quagmire. I mean, that field is like pristine.
You would never even know they had any rain all week. It looks really good. And you said they brought in?
They brought in dirt.
Some
I'm
dirt.
Give credit to, let's see, Derek Marmon, Tim Greiner, Jeremy Burns, and John Ambrose. Those were the assistant coaches who came out here on their own time and put this field together and made it look, again, like there's not been any rain at all. Well, let's talk about the weather. We were here about a half hour ago, sprinkles, clouds everywhere. The clouds have now parted for the time being. The sun is out. It's about 61 degrees. Hey, a great day for softball.
It's not too bad. The sun feels good for a change.
Now, the Fallston Cougars are coming in at 4-1. A sophomore-laden team. Barb, you look at them, they've got 6 sophomores starting on a team that's 4 wins and 1 loss. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. They have 3 seniors. They don't have any juniors and 1 freshman starting tonight. So
now the Harford, and then there you are. You'll see that starting lineup for the Fallston Cougars, the homestanding Fallston Cougars. They're going to be pitching Mary Path. Now, Mary is number 22. She's unusual in that she's pitched just 1 game, 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, no earned run average. So she's 0-0. So a young lady, sophomore, starting really her first game of the year against Harford Tech. Now, you look at Harford Tech and you say, oh, they're 1-5, a team that should be a walkover for Fallston. But then you realize they're pitching Abby Reed. Abby Reed has pitched 21 1/3 innings. She's 1-0, allowed 2 earned runs all year, ERA 0.66, and includes a shutout of the Bel Air Bobcats 3-0.
yeah, and I wonder for Fallston, this is starting her first game? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And I remember when I started my first game, I was very nervous.
Yeah, but you were a freshman at Aberdeen High School.
I was a sophomore.
Back in the day.
Yes, back in the day.
Yeah. So it's going to be just an interesting game. If you're thinking that a 4-1 against a 1-5 team mismatch, well, again, and you know that, Barb, being a pitcher in the old days yourself, pitching is what it's all about in Fashioned softball.
It usually is. I've seen these couple high school games now, and I'm very impressed with the pitching. And actually, there's a lot of runs being scored. You said there were a few home runs being hit.
Lyric Strong, the leadoff hitter for Tech, takes the ball one up high and outside. We're underway at Fallston High School. Lyric, a sophomore, batting .333 on the year. You can hear the wind through our field mic. Yeah, the wind does pick up from time to time, blowing out. Down low, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes.
Looked like a drop ball.
Yeah, it did, some sort of a changeup. Right-handed hitter batting right in the middle of the batter's box. Open stance. Strong. Strike on the outside corner. Give the umpires. Bobby Carter is the home plate umpire. Ed Clay is at first base, and Bob Hamburg is at third base. 3 umpires today. Mac McClaskey, the coach for Harford Tech, at third base. Down low, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike.
I was looking for the scoreboard. I don't see it.
No, there's not a scoreboard here. Field's a nice field, though. The outfield 200 feet all the way around, and the wind is blowing out, so we might see a long ball or two today. Up high, ball 4. Boy, Barb, as a pitcher, I know that's what you don't want to do, that first batter, putting him on base without making them work to get on.
No, that's not what you want to do. We'll see if Cobras get aggressive here and bunt or steal.
Yeah, Aubrey Gump is now the number 2 hitter. She is a 263 hitter on the year. Aubrey, the center fielder, one of the captains of the team, batting up in the batter's box. Path the pitcher. Strike on the outside corner. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, you especially don't want to walk the first batter on your first start. That really gets the nerves going.
Brian Frist, the first-year head coach of the Fallston Cougars. Up high and outside. Nope, she got a call off first base, and she'll get back safely.
Almost had her hung up in between.
Lyric Strong looked like she was going to maybe do a delayed steal, or maybe she just got herself caught off.
The catcher did the right thing. She ran right at her.
Absolutely.
That's what you're taught to do.
And that catcher is Sarah Frist, and if the name sounds familiar, yes, she is the coach's daughter, a captain as a sophomore. Up high. 2 balls and a strike. Nobody out. Top of the first inning. Harford Tech coming in with a 1-5 record. 11-11 last year. That 1-5 is very deceiving. They've lost a lot of close games this year. Up high. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike.
It's a good catch by the catcher.
Sarah Frist, angular young lady. Sometimes you think of catchers as being more stout, but she's got a lot of range there with her.
She does.
Foul back.
Foul back at us.
Barb, a couple of years ago, you'd have had that.
Yeah, maybe.
You'd have had that mask off, you'd have been there. 3 balls, 2 strikes. All right, I'm going to make you the coach now. Your coach McClaskey, you're going to send your runner here on the 3-2, nobody out?
I don't think I'd do it yet. Not in the first inning.
Swung on a miss for the out and back safely at first base. Boy, a nice comeback there by pitcher Pat. 1 out now. Katie Burr up, the first baseman for the Tech Cobras. Katie, a .333 hitter. Headed for Harford Community College next year. Strike up from the outside corner, right about the letters.
Yeah, she has a large strike zone.
She does.
That makes it a little easier to pitch to.
Down low.
Oh, runner's
There she
going.
goes. She'll get there without a throw on a wild pitch. So in scoring position now is Lyric Strong. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That was a tough pitch to handle.
It was. I don't even think if she'd come up it cleanly, I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
she
don't
had a
think
chance.
so either.
1 out, 1 on. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swung on a miss on that high pitch. Looked like that might have been out of the strike zone, but Burr went for it anyhow. Set that defense for you in just a moment. Swung on the miss. 2 down now. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. From the infield, Allie Underwood is at third. Alicia Rowe at short. Peyton Greiner is at second. Abby Marnin is at first. Alex McDougall, Maddie Burns, and Megan Watts are on the outfield. We mentioned Sarah Frist is the catcher. And the pitcher, Mary Path. Mary, a sophomore. Sarah Frist, also a sophomore. Cleanup hitter is Abby Reed. Runner at second base, she walked. Lyric Strong got there on a wild pitch to second base.
Looks like pitcher's starting to find her groove a little bit.
I think you're right. I think that you're right, too, about that nervousness. And just like that, the sun is going in. Line shot up the middle. It's a base hit. Rounding third base and headed home. Here's the third of the plate. They got her. Nope, and she's going to be safe at home and safe backly at first base. A line drive single by Mary Reed for the RBI, driving in Lyric Strong. Well, that ball was tagged.
It was. That was hit hard. Center fielder did a good job cutting it off and getting it back in.
Yeah. Center fielder Maddie Burns made a nice catch of the ball going to her left. Turned and made the throw, but no chance to get her. Now it's E.J. Rapp, the left fielder. On at first base, Mary Reed with that RBI single. On the inside corner. Go back to first base. Well, you can tell that Sarah Frist wants to say, hey, I'm in charge here.
Yeah, and Harford Tech is challenging them too. I think they want to throw down to first, maybe get a wild throw.
Yeah. Wind blowing, and again, you can hear it. The sun went in and out. The sun's back out right now. Makes it a little tough for the outfielder. Nope, just a bit high. Had a notion, but didn't go. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, runner at first base. 1-0 the lead for the Harford Tech Cobras. Cobras, we'll talk about it later, have come in just like snake bit. They've lost games. Oh, almost hit her. Up high and inside, 2-1. They had Rising Sun tied in the 6th inning and then lost that game 4-1. Big win against Bel Air. Interesting game, 3-0. Foul ball. Nicole Cosgrove is the coach for Bel Air, and guess what? Mac McClaskey is her dad. So her dad beat his daughter, and I said, you know, how'd that go? She owes me a lunch. Little pop-up. Frisk dives and makes the catch.
What a play.
Sarah Frisk. All out Dobin made that play.
Totally laid out.
You know, it reminds me of League of Their Own, wasn't it? Gina
Yes, that was very similar. She didn't quite do the splits, but.
Yeah. What a catch by Sarah Frisk. That was an outstanding play. So that ends the inning. Cobras come up with 1 run on 1 hit. 1 runner left on base, no errors. We played a half inning with the Cobras leading by that 1-0 score. That would be on the highlight reel.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm waiting for it.
Here it is.
Here it is.
Just watch this play. Oh my goodness. Sarah Frisk put a star beside that one. That's your sophomore catcher, the coach's daughter. So the Cobras do what they want to do, and that is they come up the run in the top of that first inning to go up 1-0. Puts the onus now on the Fallston Cougars to see if they can come back. We mentioned the pitcher for the Harford Tech Cobras, Abby Reed, her 3rd year on the varsity, played on the Maryland Patriots, headed for Lebanon Valley College up in PA next year. Starting lineup for the Cougars, they'll start Lyric Strong at 3rd base, Shiloh Wall, likes to be called Shy Wall. Taylor Danielle at 2nd base, Katie Burr is at 1st base, and the left field E.J. Rapp. Aubrey Gump is in center field, and Michaela McJilton is in right field. The catcher, Violet Mulieri. Violet, a freshman, so you have a sophomore catcher for Fallston and a freshman catcher for Harford Tech. You as a pitcher, I think you'd like to have some experience behind the plate.
Well, you would. They do get that experience in the rec leagues and coming up.
Yep.
And more importantly, now I don't know who's calling the game. I was watching Fallston, and the coaches were calling the game. So back in my day, the catcher called the game. So
the old thing about the player who makes the great defensive play bats first. Well, it happens here. Sarah Frisk at bat. Sarah batting .467 on the year. The little ground ball to shortstop. Moving on it is the shortstop Wall. Throw to first base, and she is out. Good play from shortstop Shy Wall to first baseman Katie Burr. Out 6-3 on that first
went
pitch.
up aggressive, hitting the first pitch.
Yeah, I said she was .467. That's her GPA. She's actually batting .529.
Oh.
Wow.
Both are impressive.
Both are impressive. Maddie Burns, now speaking of impressive, this young lady hitting .789.
Wow.
She's got 3 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 home runs. That's also impressive.
That's very impressive.
Maddie Burns, a senior, one of the captains on the team. There's that changeup. We were talking to pitcher Abby Reed before the game, and she said she likes to do that to start a player off with a changeup. That's a little unusual. You like to change off the fastball.
Well, it would be unusual, but she's hitting 700 plus.
Yes.
So you know she's probably looking for a pitch that she's going to drive.
Inside and low. 2 balls, no strikes. So Sarah Frisk, the leadoff hitter, hit the first pitch, the ground out to shortstop. Maddie Burns has taken the first 2. She's up 2-0. I like how she steps on the plate when she sets herself. That's a ritual, I guess she has. If you're hitting .789, I think I'd keep doing it. Ground ball to the third baseman, coming in as Strong. Throw to first base, she's going to be out at first base. Another great play by Lyric Strong. That out by a half step.
And a good stretch on the first baseman on both plays.
It was. That's Katie Burr. Katie, the 4th-year player, headed for Harford Community College next year. Katie, by the way, is from Haverty Grace. She's in the culinary arts program.
Culinary arts, wow.
Yeah.
Who knew there was such a thing?
That's cooking in case.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
We called it home ec in my day.
Stop it. Allie Underwood now. Strike down the middle. Nobody out. I should say nobody on. 2 out.
2 outs.
2 ground balls. Allie Underwood batting .562 with 8 RBIs, 3 runs, and 3 stolen bases. Allie is sophomore. Strike 2.
Wow. Good location on that pitch.
Right on the outside corner. Abby Reed, an impressive young lady, 21 in the 3rd innings, 2 earned runs, 33 strikeouts in 21 in the 3rd innings. That's like a 1.5 an inning. Ground ball off the end of the bat, foul.
Yeah, she's doing a good job moving the ball around. Both the hits so far were not hit real hard.
Yeah.
So she's either fooling them or making them hit it off the handle.
Yeah. And again, you're looking at a .529 hitter and a .789 hitter. Underwood, .562. That's a murderer's row to get through those first 3
Yes,
batters.
it is.
Swung on and missed on that high inside fastball, and so 3 up and 3 down go the Fallston Cougars. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We have played 1 full inning with the Harford Tech Cobras leading 1-0. Barb, we talked about it, and again, when you have a team that's 1-5, you know, if you're Fallston, you don't want to say, hey, this is a break. You know, we're not playing Patterson Mill or Singleton, right? We're playing a team that's 1-5. But then you realize a team that has lost games by 1 run, close games they were leading,
yes.
and a team that's throwing a pitcher who could be a number 1 on most every team in the county.
Yeah, so yeah, you don't want to take them lightly, that's for sure.
Well, a good first inning, a great play by Sarah Fritz, the catcher, to end that first inning on that diving catch that she made. Very, very impressive. Impressed with the 3rd baseman for Harford Tech and with the shortstop, who both made good plays. Talking about Lyric Strong and Shy Wall. And again, you made a point. Katie Burr stretched great on both plays.
Both plays, yes.
So we're ready now for the top of the 2nd inning. Mary Path ready for her 2nd inning of work. And we mentioned she's pitched just 1 inning all year. Of course, it is early in the year. We're 4-1 over the Cougars, so.
I was going to ask you, with the mostly rainouts last week,
Yeah.
are they getting the games in?
They're trying. And the Bel Air game, by the way, Nicole Cosgrove is here watching her dad's team play. They got rained out today.
Oh, so she's scouting, huh?
Yeah, she is. Leading off now here in the top of the 2nd inning is Michaela McJilton. Michaela, the right fielder, a .158 hitter, her 3rd year on varsity. One of the captains of the team. Tip foul.
It's a good cut.
Right on the ball, just a little bit under it.
A little off.
Michaela from the Abingdon area would have gone to Patterson Mill had she not chosen to go to Harford Tech. Change up down low. She's in the sports medicine program at Harford Tech. Plays for the EC Bullets in the rec league. Michaela McJilton. Sarah Frista adjusting the shin guards. On the outside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I don't know if she intentionally changed the speed, but that one looked a little slower.
Yeah.
Outside corner.
Ground ball up the middle.
The middle.
Moving shortstop, diving, can't make the take. Alicia Rowe able to get a glove on it, but couldn't slow it down. So 1 up, 1 on, base hit for McJilton. Ball was hit not tremendously hard, but right in the right spot.
Yeah, I don't think if she'd have fielded it cleanly, she could have gotten up and thrown her out anyway. Let's see if they stay aggressive on the bases.
Shy Wall now. The shortstop, number 23, a junior. Pop up, moving on it. First baseman Martman. Foul and out of play. There's not a whole lot of territory in the foul territory here before you get out of play. I'm impressed with Harford Tech, how they're aggressive at the bat. Shy ball, a 4.5 GPA student. Doesn't have a batting average yet this year. Up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shy is in the sports medicine program at Harford Tech. On the outside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That was one of those strikes that you don't really want to swing at.
Yeah. Umpire Bobby Carter gave that a long look before he called it a
Yes, he
strike.
did.
On the outside corner.
That one was too close to take.
Dotted that outside corner. 1 out now. Still on at first base is Michaela Majolkin, bringing up Violet Molieri. Violet, a freshman, that's catcher as we mentioned. Violet batting 143. Up high. Ball 1. Plays for the Gold Coast Hurricanes in the rec leagues. Also plays volleyball, does Violet. Foul back. Oh, my partner ducked a little bit.
Just flinched a little bit.
These are the, see, I didn't move. That's because my reactions are gone. You know, I could just be hit and not even know it until maybe a minute later. But you moved on, you were quick that way. I like that. But there is a screen there, I shouldn't tell you. It does stop most balls.
Well.
Yeah. Pop up, foul, and out of play. Nice little crowd here gathered along the third baseline and the first baseline. And Barb, we even have people in the bleacher seats out beyond the fence. I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, that's probably the best place to watch a game
like
out
it.
there.
Remember the Memorial Stadium? 50 cents it cost to sit in the bleachers. Of course, you got splinters in your butt. But pop up, foul, and out of play.
Oh, we almost hit the van.
Yeah, let's not hit the van. That's our lifeline there.
So I do notice the home team fans get bleachers, but the visiting fans don't get bleachers.
Well, there you are. You know. 2 strikes now. 1 out. Runner at first. McJilton, who led off with a single, stayed there on the strikeout. Right on the corner.
Oh, she's living on the outside of the plate.
That's where you want to be.
That is where you want to be.
Mary Path, the sophomore pitcher, working her 3rd inning the entire season. That first inning, a little bit rough. She gave up a run, but gave up a hit as the leadoff hitter, but now is coming back. Taylor Danielle, the second baseman. Taylor is a senior. Up high. 4.7 GPA, also plays soccer. By the way, Taylor is the niece of Paul Danielle, who is the athletic director and baseball coach at Harford Tech. Strike on the outside corner again. 1 ball, 1 strike. Batting number 9 in the order is Taylor Danielle. Ooh, a little pop-up moving and making the catch is the pitcher, Mary Path. Hit right off the handle, and the 3rd out is recorded on the pop-up to the pitcher. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner was left on base. We've now played an inning and a half, a 1-0 lead for the Harford Tech Cobras. Well, I'm impressed with the quality of play on both sides. Defensively, they both look really good.
They have. We've had some tough plays, too. They haven't been easy. Like maybe one easy play, that one we just witnessed.
Yeah. I mean, the Sarah Frisk catcher, but the plays by the infield on Harford Tech, very, very impressive.
A few strikeouts, too. I think that's expected first time through the order. I think as we start getting second and third time through the order, we'll start seeing
4 Ks
make better
for Mary
contact.
Path. And in that first inning for Fallston, Abby Reed had the 1 strikeout. Remember, she's a young lady for Harford Tech who had 33 Ks in 21 in the 3rd innings. Talking about the pitcher on the mound right now. Barb, what have you seen as a former pitcher? You've talked about how she moves the ball around and changes speeds.
Yeah, and I don't even. You can have one pitch. It can be a fastball or a fastball. But if you're changing speeds and you're moving it up and down and in and out, you're going to be very effective.
People don't understand that, especially the center field camera. It looks like, hey, that ball is right there. You should hit it. But looking at it from center field, you can't see the change of speeds.
No, you can't, and you only have to change it a little bit.
Yeah.
When I pitched, I had a fastball and changeup. That's all I had.
Here's Abby Ambrose. Abby is the DP, the designated player, meaning like in baseball, that would be your designated hitter. Batting number, I'm sorry, that's Abby Marmon. Excuse me, Abby. Abby, the cleanup hitter, the sophomore first baseman. Abby batting .529, 7 RBIs, 4 runs scored, 3 stolen bases. Abby, another one of those sophomores. We mentioned 6 sophomores in this starting lineup. Down low. If you're opposing coaches around the county, you've got to look at Fallston and say, well, hey, they're 4-1, but wait a minute, they start 6 sophomores?
Yeah,
wow.
I'll be back next year.
Yeah, and the year after. Oh, the change up, and she did go. That changeup, as an old fast pitch softball player, should be outlawed. It's not fair. You all get geared up for that fastball, and here comes the ball just poking to the plate.
Yeah.
And you look like a fool.
You do often.
Little pop up to the second base. Caught on the bounce.
A little trouble with
Go to
it.
first, and she's going to be safe at first. The ball gets away.
Oh, runner's going to second.
Yeah, it went out of play, so she will get second base.
She gets second, okay. Yeah, it looked like the second baseman wasn't quite sure whether she should catch it or play the hop.
Yeah.
And that ball had some spin on it, so it was a tough one if you didn't catch it on before it bounced.
And if you're a fielder, that's the dreaded. You get 2 errors on one play. You get the error on the catch and the error on the throw. So runner at second base, nobody out, and now it's the DP, Mary Ambrose. I'm sorry, I called her Mary. It's May Ambrose. Sorry, May.
That one might have hit the road.
Yeah, we're right here on the Fallston Road, close by.
A lot of foul balls right over our head.
So strike 1. Runner at second base, Abby Marmon. Turns,
Oh, we have a bunt.
Active. Not even thinking about third base on the sack. So moving down to third base is Abby Marmon on the sacrifice by May Ambrose. From the pitcher Abby Reed to the first baseman Katie Burr.
That was a good bunt. Went right back to the pitcher, but she got it down. She did her job, moved the runner over, and bunting's not an easy art.
It is not. It's a forgotten art in the major leagues.
Yeah,
as you know.
it is.
Elisa Rowe now, the shortstop. Lisa, 353 batter. 1 out, runner at third base.
Oh,
there's a bunt. That's a squeeze bunt.
Oh.
Got her trapped. Throw to third. She's going to be back safely. But a good job by pitcher Reed. If she'd have thrown that to first, the runner would have scored from third on the safety squeeze. Instead, it's a bunt single, or a fielder's choice, really. Rowe gets on. So both runners are safe. Runners at first and third. 1 out.
I would suspect the runner at first would steal or get caught in a rundown. We'll see how they play this.
Here's Mary Path, the pitcher. She's squaring the bunt, too.
Bunt, and the runner goes to second.
Yep. I think they call it indifference, defensive indifference. The runner goes down to second base. Runners at second and third, 1 out.
Yeah, that's one of the toughest plays as a defense, when you have runners at first and third, and the runner kind of goes and stays, and you don't know whether to throw it down or not.
Yep.
We practiced it a lot in college, and we very rarely threw anybody out.
But you made the great call is that the pitcher runs at the batter, making that runner make a move one way or the other.
Right. She shows bunt again.
Strike is the call. Sun has disappeared again behind that big cloud. Well, it's got to be tough for outfielders with that sun going in and out and the wind blowing.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many pop-ups to the outfield. We had a line drive, but we haven't seen any fly balls to the outfield yet.
Ground ball to the second baseman. Run will
in.
score. The throw to first base for the out. So it's an RBI for Mary Path on the ground out from 4-3. Moving up to third base is Rowe. Scoring is Abby Marmon. So we're tied now at 1-1. 2 out. Runner at third base. It was a nice play by second baseman Taylor Danielle.
Yeah, and her only play was to first.
Yep. Peyton Griner, the sophomore second baseman. Peyton, a .222 hitter. Runner at third base, a big run. Strike on the knees. So we're tied at 1. It's an unearned run against Abby Reed. Ground ball, back to the pitcher, Reed with the stop. Great play, and notice how she ran over to first base and underhanded it. So the inning ends on a put out from 1-3, but the Cougars do draw even. They get 1 run on 2 errors, no base hits, and there was 1 runner left on base. We are tied at 1 after 2 innings of play.
Well, the action's starting to heat up. Starting to see a lot more hits, runs, steals, bunts.
I'm impressed with Brian Frist, the first-year head coach for Fallston. He made the defense of Harford Tech react with those bunts. You know, it's easy when you strike out or you hit an easy ground ball, but you bunt, everybody has to move. And he really got some advantage out of it. He got a run out of it.
Yeah, that's what they say, put the ball in play,
Yep.
make the defense make a play, and anything can happen if you do that.
So Mary Path, who is back on the mound, has an RBI on that ground out to second base. So she has gotten herself back equal and her team back equal. We asked Coach Frist if he intended to bring in relievers today. That Frist had really only, that the pitcher Path had only thrown 1 inning all year. He was kind of non-committal. He said, we'll just have to see how the game goes.
Well, as a coach, you're going to be non-committal.
Yeah.
You want to have confidence and
I'm
show
not
confidence.
I'm going to tell you anything. He said.
Right.
Harford Tech now goes back to the top of the order. This is Lyric Strong. Lyric, the sophomore who walked and scored back in the first inning. Down low. Ball 1.
Well, it's like when the Ravens, they never reveal their lineup ahead of time. It's a strategy.
Strong, the sophomore. Another ball 2. Barb, she's one of those 3-sport players. Now, you were a 3-sport player. That's tough to be playing 3 sports and your academics.
It is, but I'll tell you, there were a few, when our season ended early and we weren't in the playoffs and the next sport didn't start, and I actually had to go home after school instead of practice, and I never knew what to do with myself.
Your mom said, what are you doing home? Well, that's right, it's between seasons. 3 balls, no strikes. Strike on the outside corner. The old automatic. Lyric, the third baseman. Line drive right at the second baseman.
Hit well, just to the wrong place.
Peyton Griner able to get that line drive right where she was standing. That'll bring up Aubrey Gupp now, the center fielder. Aubrey, who fanned back in the first inning. Aubrey, a .263 hitter, 4th year on the varsity. One of the captains. Had a chance to talk to Aubrey before the game. Outstanding young lady, going to East Carolina. Going to study sports medicine at East Carolina. Line drive, that's going to be a base hit into right field.
It's a soft line drive, as they say.
Yeah, it looked like the wind maybe held it up. That wind that's blowing, I think, behind us, sort of toward left field.
Yeah, I was hoping it would die down a little bit, but so far, no.
I think we can be happy that it's not raining. Oops, I said it. Katie Burr, first baseman. Katie, who fanned back in the first inning. Down low. 1 out, runner at first base. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. Harford Tech scored in the 1st inning. Fallston matched them with one of their own in the bottom of the 2nd. Ground ball 3rd base. Bobbled it, picks it up.
A little bit.
Gets her
That bobble made a difference.
safe at second base. I think her only play was first, but she tried to go to second instead. So the error, and that puts Katie Burr on at first base, and safely at second is Aubrey Gump.
Yeah, I think if she'd have fielded it cleanly, I think she would have had her at second.
Yeah.
It would have been a close play.
But once she bobbled it, I think her only play then was maybe at first base. So we got runners now at first and second with just 1 out with Abby Reed, the pitcher up, the cleanup hitter who got that single that knocked in the run for Harford Tech, looking to try to help her own cause again.
Oh, and she's bunts.
Bunting.
Right down the line.
And safe, and I think she's safe at first base as well.
I think
they called her out.
I was expecting her to tag her.
Yeah, it looked like she may have gotten there, but no, the umpire on the spot said she's out. So it's a sacrifice. It goes from 1 to 3. And that puts runners at second and third and brings up E.J. Rapp. Remember, it was Rapp who hit that little pop-up that our catcher, Sarah Frisk, made that great catch on back in the 1st inning. Ground ball first base, it's foul! A diving play by Abby Marmon.
Yeah, that bunt was a little surprising to me.
Yeah.
You've got your cleanup batter at the plate.
Yeah.
With 1 out.
I think I said 1 to 3. It was actually from 3 to the second baseman covering for the out. 1 strike. Foul ball. E.J. Rapp, the junior left fielder, .250 hitter on the year. No ball, 2 strikes. A key spot in the ball game in the top of the 3rd. 2 out. Runners at second and third. Looking for the base hit that would score 1, maybe 2. Ground ball by the second baseman. 1 in.
They send the runner third.
Here comes the runner.
Here she comes.
Third of the plate, and it's going to be high, and she will score. Runner will go down to second base. So a 2-run single by E.J. Rapp takes second on the wild throw to the plate. Give the error to the center fielder in that case to get her to second base.
Yeah, I think it would have been a close play at the plate. That had been a better throw.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to go through your cutoff, but the play was at home. It was going to be close.
So the Harford Tech Cobras now have scored those 2 runs to go by 3-1. Runner at second base, Michaela McGilton. Michaela got a single back in the 2nd inning. Outside corner, strike 1.
Yeah, and
so
just as we thought, second time through the lineup, we're starting to make better contact.
3-1, the lead by the Tech Cobras now. That ball just evaded Peyton Griner on that single. Tried to backhand it. Down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two out. Runner at second base. Up high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitcher Mary Path, sophomore, we mentioned, pitched just 1 inning all year. Now in her 3rd inning of work here at home. Pop-up foul. Evens the count at 2 now, 2-2. Michaela had 158 hitter early in the season, her 3rd year on the varsity. Just a junior. One of the captains for Harford Tech.
All right, did we switch catchers?
You know, you're right. I had
just
not
noticed.
They didn't let us know.
No.
There's a new catcher, number 33 in the lineup, and that's May Ambrose. I don't know where Sarah Frisk is gone. Maybe we can find out from the Fallston bench. Good catch. Ground ball shortstop.
Hard hit.
Fielded neatly by Rowe in the third of first base. She's safe.
Yeah, she was checking the runner, make sure she didn't take third, and while she did it, the the runner was safe.
So fielder's choice as McGilton gets on at first base. Runner remains at second base, E.J. Rapp. Boy, with 2 out, you would think you would want to go ahead and make that play to first base.
Yeah, it should have been an automatic.
Line drive, right center field. It's falling for the base hit. That's shy wall. 1 run will score. Here comes the second run in.
They can't pick the ball up out in the outfield.
And it's a triple
Throw comes
for
in.
shy Wall, as Wall knocks in 2 runs, knocking in E.J. Rapp and Michaela McGilton. And just like that, it is now 5-1, the lead for Harford Tech. A triple into the alley in right center field for Shy Wall. That is impressive. So a 2 out. Here's your replay. You'll see that ball smacked into right center field.
And then both outfielders were there, and I don't know if it's wet out there, but they had a hard time picking it up.
They did. And the Tech Cobras, meantime, were just like a merry-go-round.
Well, with
from
2 outs,
second
that's
and
what you
third.
do. You just keep running.
Boy, give credit to Shy Wall. That ball was tagged right up that right center field alley. So 4 runs in here in this top of the 3rd inning, all with 2 outs.
I'm looking over on the bench at Sarah Frist, and she's got ice on the back of her neck, so I don't know if it's an injury.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that your captain, do-it-all catcher would be out for any other reason except an injury. Down low. Blocked. New catcher is May Ambrose. May is a freshman, so you go from a sophomore catcher now to a freshman catcher. I remind you, the Fallston, the Harford Tech Cobras 1-5. They're not playing like a 1-5 team.
They certainly
high.
are not.
And we mentioned a very deceiving record, having lost close games. Every one of their games that they've lost has been close. Some they've been ahead, lost in the late innings. Ground ball foul at third. Violet Mulieri, the catcher. Violet, a freshman, a 143 batter on the season. Wind picking up, blowing our papers around. Up high. Three balls and 1 strike on the batter. Number 8 in the order. And number 8 batter here who's appeared in this top of the 3rd. Pop up, first baseman moving. That's Marmon.
Oh, she dropped it.
Marmon drops the ball. This has been a nightmare inning for the Fallston Cougars. We said that Wall had a triple. I guess we'll probably have to give an error to the center fielder, a double, and then an error that allowed her to go to third base. 2 RBIs, though, for Wall. Foul tip. Sun has disappeared. The wind has picked up. It's that kind of day at Boston.
Well, it's not snowing. I don't know if you watched the Oriole-Pittsburgh game.
Yeah.
Where it was snowing heavily.
Yeah. No, we don't want that. Ground ball third, and through the third baseman's legs for another error and another run.
Well, these are hard hit balls.
It was a hard
Very
hit
hard.
ball. So the 6th run of the inning, or 5th run of the inning, 6th run of the game, scored by Harford Tech as Shy Wall comes across. And we will now have batted around. Courtesy runner. Let's see if we can pick up a name there. Looks like number 15 is Evelyn Colby. If you're not unfamiliar, that if you're a pitcher or a catcher, you can have a courtesy runner and not be taken out of the game. So it allows the game to speed up, gets more players into the game. Taylor Danielle, who popped up to to the pitcher. Hits it back to the pitcher. Moving on
Slow
it.
grounder.
Throw to first base and a nice stretch in the out at first. So the out from Rowe to Marmon finally ends this inning. Not before Harford Tech scores 5 big runs. Let's see, they had 1, 2, 3. Looks like they had 4 hits. There were 3 errors on the part of the Fallston Cougars, and 1 runner was left on base. We have played now 2.5 innings, and the Harford Tech Cobras are leading by a score of 6-1.
Yeah, you know, Don, you said when you got here the field was a mess, which I assume, you know, muddy and wet. I would have to assume the outfield has to be pretty wet out there and
Yep.
muddy, because they didn't work on the outfield.
And that could explain Matty Burns having trouble picking up that ball in
It
center
could.
field. Stirring around here on the Fallston bench, that could mean that they might be warming up another pitcher. Meantime, Abby Reed is through 2 innings, has come right along. Abby has fanned 1, given up well, actually has given up no base hits at all.
Yeah, and that's what you want her. You want her to come out and throw a strong inning now that you have the lead. You want to shut them down a little bit.
Yeah, they call that the shutdown inning when
Yes.
your team has scored runs, and now all you want to do is get back in the dugout, or in this case, to the bench. Coach Brian Frist telling his team, no one sits on the bench. We're down 5-1. You know,
Now, they may have a little competition here
actually
with the
6-1.
noise.
Yep. Alex McDougall leading off. Boy, that's a nice start there for pitchy Abby Reed. You know the other team wants to come right back. Let's shut them down if we can. Sun is back out. Wind has slowed a bit. He striked on the inside corner.
Inside. Well, when you get ahead in the count, you can throw them a little off.
Yep.
That's a good pitch. Don't give them anything too easy to hit.
Abby Reed, 0-2. Swung on and missed. Boy, that's the way you want to come out.
That's the way you want to do it.
If you scored 5 runs, now you want to shut them down. We'll bring up the 9 hitter in the lineup, Megan Watts, the right fielder. Looks like we might have a pinch hitter coming
You
in.
might, number 31.
That would be Victoria Hudson. Junior Victoria. So Hudson now pinch hitting.
Pinch hitting where Sarah was hitting, who's out of the lineup for an unknown reason.
Yep. Yeah, that's where Sarah Frist is the leadoff hitter in the lineup. And Reed is just bringing it. She says, hey, you know, we got the lead. Try to hit me.
Well, and she did. She was not far off from that pitch. Pitcher's being aggressive and the batter's being aggressive.
Change up. We talked to Abby before the game, and she said that's a pitch she likes to use. Sometimes to lead off the at bat. This time, she threw the fastball and then the change.
That was a good time to throw it because she was all over that first pitch, that fastball.
Yep. Nice take by Hudson, by Victoria Hudson. Ground ball shortstop. Pitch and the throw to first base. Nice scoop at first base for the out. That play from shortstop Shy Wall to first baseman Katie Burr. So 2 up and 2 down. Now Maddie Burns, Maddie the 789 hitter. This is the person you want up. Nobody on base. If you're Harford Tech, you say that's a good time. Runs with 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and a triple. Change up under the
Hit
third baseman's
hard.
glove for the base hit.
Trying to start a 2-out rally.
That didn't fool her at all. She was ready for that change.
Yeah, and they're going up aggressive. They're swinging at the first pitch.
2 out, runner at first base. Allie Underwood, the third baseman and number 3 hitter in the lineup for Fallston, fanned back in the first inning. Two out, runner at first base. A little bit outside.
That almost looked like a pickoff pitch,
Yeah.
almost.
You wouldn't think she'd be running down 6-1, but you know, you just never know.
You never know.
Allie, one of the sophomores, 562 hitter.
And there she goes.
And she will be safe at second base on the stolen base.
Good throw from the catcher.
Well, it was. Violet Molieri making that throw down to second base. But
just when we thought she wouldn't steal.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you're down, tradition would say, you know, you don't steal when you're down 5 runs. But then again, now she's in scoring position. Underwood looking for the base hit to try to get this game closer. Wow, line drive. Almost took the on-deck batter legs out from under her, but it's a foul. One ball, 2 strikes. Key part of the ball game. You mentioned, Barbara, about that shutdown inning. That's what she's looking for. Pop up. Out of play. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Barbara, as a former pitcher, I know you're impressed with Abby Reed.
I am impressed. She's moving the ball around really well. Like I said, changing up her speeds.
Change up. Oh, strike 3. There is that lousy change up, and I say that as a batter.
Yeah, and that one looked a little different than the other ones.
It looked like it was borderline, but the umpire made the call that it was in the strike zone, and so the third out is recorded. Here you'll see the replay. Look at that change. It just floats in, Barb.
Yeah, the other ones were kind of drop ball change-ups, but that one was more knuckleball change-up almost.
No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We've played 3 full now. It's a 6-1 lead for the Harford Tech Cobras. And that was the ideal spot to throw that change up.
Yes, it was.
You knew that's the last thing in the world that the batter, Allie Underwood, was expecting. And she stood there, as Chuck Thompson used to say, stood there like the house beside the road. Chuck Thompson, those of you who are young people, don't know who I'm talking about, but he was the Oriole announcer and Colt announcer for many, many years.
Yes.
Made famous the, ain't the beer cold when things were going well. And his other big one was go to war, Miss Agnes.
That's right. I do remember.
I heard him once explain where that came from. He said he used to play golf with a priest who couldn't say bad words when he missed a putt. And so the priest would say, go to war, Miss Agnes. You never knew where it came from, but that's what Chuck would do when things were going well. Go to war, Miss Agnes.
You do have a pitching change here.
Yep. We talked about that the pitcher, Mary Path, had pitched only an inning coming in, pitches 3 innings now. It looks like, I'm trying to pick up a number, is that
31.
31.
Yeah, she just hit Victoria Hudson.
Victoria Hudson, yeah. So she comes in to replace in Sarah Fritz's batting spot, but she'll take the place of the pitcher, Mary Path. That means that she has to bat first in the order, since that's where she pinch hit. So Hudson now is in to do the pitching, Victoria Hudson. She's only thrown 2 innings this year, 5 Ks in 2 innings, an ERA of 0.00.
So she doesn't have a lot of innings.
No.
in either.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe with all the rain, they've had to play so many games, they're trying to rest a little bit.
So Lyric Strong, who led off the last inning, the third inning, with a line drive out, and now here we're in the fourth inning, her third time at bat. She walked and scored. Last time, you remember, she tattooed that line drive right at the second baseman. 333 hitter. Pop up, catcher moving, and does not corral it. Very tough play. That ball had a lot of spin on it.
Yeah, it's tough as the opposing team when you switch pitchers. You're just starting to get the bat on the ball with the other pitcher, and now they put in someone else. And I'm sure that's why they're doing it, to get him off balance.
May Ambrose, the new catcher for Fallston. Line drive, going to fall before the second baseman. Throw to first, and she's going to be safe.
Just out of the reach of the pitcher's glove.
Yeah. Perfectly placed, I say a line drive, a humpback line drive in front of the second baseman. So last time she tattooed the line drive, got nothing for it. This time she hits one like a dying quail and gets a base hit. It's just not there, Barb.
No, it's not.
This game sometimes is. Aubrey Gump now. Aubrey fanned in the first inning, got a single last time and scored. She started that 5-run rally with a single to left field. Gump, the center fielder, batting .263, her fourth year on the varsity. Ground ball foul. Look out, Mac. Coach Mac moving pretty good. Looks at his player and says, "Hey, hit it there."
Yeah, that did not fool her at all.
Aubrey Gump headed for East Carolina to study sports medicine from the North Harford area. Foul tip.
Yeah, the runner went, but it was foul, so she'll have to go back to first.
Have to go back. Aubrey, one of the captains of the team. One ball, two strikes, one out. Or I should say none out, runner on at first. There she goes down to second, and it's going to be safe at second base.
Yeah, that looked like a attempt at a changeup. I think she hit her thigh coming around when she was releasing the ball.
Strong with the stolen base. She's down at second now. Nobody out. Past the third baseman for the base hit. She's turning third, and here she comes. The throw to the plate, she's going to be saved. Running in the face of that left fielder is Lyric Strong. She scores the run on the single by Aubrey Gump. Aubrey. Goes down to second base on the throw-in. So the RBI for Gump on the single to left field. I really thought that Strong was going to hold up at third base.
I did too.
But she ran right in the face. Katie Burr now. Katie got a double last time. Pop up to second base. And the catch is made, so the first out is recorded.
And that's our first real pop-up of the game. I was looking to see if the wind would affect it. It didn't seem to.
Not a whole lot. Play at second base made by Peyton Greiner. Runner holds on at second base, so now we got one out. Abby Reed, the pitcher. Abby has a single, got sacrificed last time up, so she's 1 for 1 officially. Pop up to the third baseman. Behind the third baseman, and it falls for a base hit. Gosh, that reminded me of Holiday, the new Orioles, who came up, and that ball just seemed to be uncatchable.
Yeah, that's a tough play for the third baseman going
was.
back. And it was tough for the shortstop to get there.
Yep. Holding on at second base is Gump, so the base hit for Reed just out of the reach of the third baseman, Allie Underwood. And now here comes E.J. Rapp, who got that big base hit. RBI back in the last inning. Squares to bunt, shakes her head like, hey, I knew better than that.
And that pitch looked like it was a little high, and if you know that a batter's going to bunt, which I don't think she did, you want to pitch it up high, because then the tendency is to pop it up.
Runners at first and second, one out. Strong at second. Check it, Gump at second, and Reed on at first base. Down low, ball and a strike. Remind you that the new catcher, May Ambrose, in a ball game, apparent injury to Sarah Frist. Swung on a miss.
And that's good pitching. First one was high, second one was low. You know, you don't know where it's coming.
Rita got that solid base hit last time up. Pop up, third baseman moving on it. Underwood makes the catch in the foul territory. So that's 2 out now. Runners remain at first and second. Bring up Michaela Magilton. Michaela got on a fielder's choice and scored in the last inning. 1 for 2 officially on the day. Tech Cobras up by 7-1 outside.
Great stop by the catcher.
Yeah, Ambrose made a nice play on that one. Again, she is a freshman, is Ambrose, and obviously didn't expect to play today. It was Sarah Frist, the captain, but Sarah has left the game in the second inning with an apparent injury. Swung on and missed.
It's great to have that depth, though.
Yeah. We mentioned that Fallston has sophomores starting 6 of them today, and now they've got a freshman in there. Hudson is a junior coming in to pitch. Swung on and missed. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 out, runners at first and second. It's a 7-1 lead for the Harford Tech Cobras. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was a good pitch. The umpire's giving her the outside corner, so you keep moving a little farther out and a little farther out each time.
Cobras scored 1 run in the first, 5 in the third, and now 1 here in the fourth. Fly ball, foul to the left side. It's going to go out of play. We mentioned the outfield dimensions, 200 feet all the way around, and with the wind blowing out when the game started, we thought we might see a long ball today.
That one, if it had been fair, maybe had a chance.
Yeah, she did hit it well. Michaela Magilton, one of the captains. Inside and low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Expect the runners to be off and running here with 3-2 count, 2 out. Sun disappears again. Gets a little chilly when that sun goes away.
It does. And the wind picking up.
Fly ball. Let's see
Oh,
what the
could be
wind does
trouble.
to this one. Coming. It's going to fall for the base hit. 1 run is in. Second run stops at third base.
I think it did a good job getting that ball into
Yeah.
the infield and not letting that other run score.
Maddie Burns coming in to try to get that ball, so the ball falls for the base hit. 1 run scores all the way from second base. The other run goes to third base.
I think the wind had to affect that ball because it looked like it was going to be to the outfielder, and it dropped just in the grass, just outside the infield.
I think the wind is now blowing toward left field, so you're right. That sort of held the ball up. Shy Walton now. Shy Walt, I should say, up to bat. Shy got that big hit, that double into center field that ended up scoring 2 runs last inning, 2 RBIs. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Eight to 1 now. 2 runs here in the top of the 4th inning. Fly ball, second baseman moving Griner. That wind had it, but hangs with it and gets the out.
She didn't look too sure on that one either.
Not at all. That wind is doing.
The wind is doing crazy things to the ball.
So 2 runs in that inning on 4 base hits, 2 runs, 4 base hits, no errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. We have now played 3.5 innings, and it's an 8-1 lead for the Harford Tech Cobras.
There's the replay. I think just like the outfielder, she had to come in on that ball at the last minute.
So the wind that had started out sort of howling toward the center or left center now appears to have turned around and is holding the ball up. So, Barb, who would have thunk it 8-1. We're in the fourth inning. Still a long way to go, obviously. But it's the Harford Tech Cobras who come in at 1-5 against the 4-1 Fallston Cougars.
Hold on.
As the wind now is blowing.
Blowing everything.
Everything around.
Well, I think you called it, Don. I mean, the close games that the Cobras lost, you know, they're being aggressive. At the plate and on the bases.
We were talking to some of the Cobra players before the game, and they were saying that they should be at the very worst 3-3, you know, and maybe even 4-2. But instead, they're saddled with that 1-5 record. They lost twice last year to Fallston in the regular season. And so they're looking to come here to Fallston and get a measure of revenge.
Yeah, so far so good. But like you said, there's many innings left.
We hate to say it, but you're playing with that mercy rule that if you're down by 10 runs or more after 5 innings, after you've batted 5 times, the game is over. So if you're Fallston, you want to get this score a bit closer.
There's an urgency there, yes.
Abby Marmon now, the sophomore first baseman. Abby reached on an error last time, scored the run. She's got the only run that Fallston scored so far.
She started off with that changeup.
Again, as a pitcher, that's not the normal pattern where you start with a changeup. You're changing off something, but Abby Reed says she likes to change on that first pitch. Pop up, Reed.
Yeah, she hit that off the handle of the bat. It's a good pitch, inside and high.
Remember, this Marmon is batting .529 with 7 RBIs. The pop up to the pitcher, 1 out. Brings up the DP, the designated player, May Ambrose. May, who now is in as the catcher position, replacing Sarah Frisk. Line drive, it's going to be a base hit. Base hit into center field.
That's what you need to come back. You need runners.
Sacrifice bunt in that second inning, and now she has a base hit, so officially May Ambrose 1 for 1.
And I think you're right, being down 8-1. I don't know how aggressive Fallston can be on the bases, but who knows? We were wrong before.
Alicia Rowe now at bat.
And I do believe in testing the defense. So if you steal a base, keep stealing until they throw you out.
Outside corner strike. Alicia got on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. Comes in as a .353 batter. Swung on a miss. Throw back to first base. That's close. Umpire says safe. Nice throw by Molieri to first baseman Burr. Burr made a nice tag.
Yeah, you don't want to be picked off in this situation when you need 7 runs.
Down 7 runs? No. Outside. Well, speaking of, there was a play with the Oriole game the other night where center fielder, mine is going blank. I'll think of it in a minute. He got thrown out at third base on a throw where the runner had scored, but because he got thrown out, it didn't count.
Yeah, I heard about that play. I didn't see it.
Fly ball right field.
Well, that's trouble.
The wind does to it. It's in. Off the right fielder's glove. Runners at first and
Yeah, the
second.
runner at first had to hold up to see if she would catch it or not. That's why she couldn't go to third.
Rowe gets the base hit, so 2 straight hits now. Runners at first and second. Cedric Mullins, the name escaped me.
Cedric Mullins, yeah.
He was thrown out at third base, and because the runner didn't score with 2 outs before the tag was made at third base. So the point I'm making is you have to be careful as a base runner. This is Mary Path. Mary Path, the sophomore now. Mary was the pitcher, and I have to confess, I'm not sure
if she's
where
still,
they
yeah,
put
I don't
her
know either.
in the field because she's still batting. 1 out now. Runners at first and second. Ground ball right at the plate. Mary got an RBI, the only RBI of the game for Fallston to this point, only ground out back in the second inning. Grounded out to second base. Ah, and the sun has broken through again. The glorious sun. We've had a rainy spring so far.
Oh, that's an understatement.
Yeah. Sophomore batting .333. Swung on and missed. Well, that was a nice high inside fastball. That's the fourth strikeout of the game for Abby Reed. Bring up Peyton Griner, the sophomore second baseman, who grounded back to the pitcher in the second inning, ending that inning. Pop up, moving shortstop. That's Wall, and Wall makes the catch. So the rally dies that quickly. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 runners left on base. We've now played 4 full. It's an 8-1 lead for the Harford Tech Cobras. Wow.
Yeah, Abby Reed is living up to her numbers.
She is that. Here's the replay, and you'll see that pop-up that ended. Notice even the wind even affected that ball.
Yeah, she did a good job getting behind the ball and getting there. It's not an easy play.
It is not. Shiloh Wall. Shy Wall. She likes to be called Shy Wall. 4.6 GPA student. So we're ready now for the top of the 5th inning with that 8-1 lead. I'm just going to give you the scenario. If Harford Tech would score 3 runs and make it 11-1, then Fallston would be faced with needing to score a run to keep the game going. The mercy rule, or I don't know, I guess it's the best term for it, means that if you're down by 10 runs and you've batted 5 times, then the game ends right there.
Yes, it does.
I don't know, did they have that rule back when you were playing?
They did. I thought it was 8 runs. Maybe that's changed.
You know, the idea is to, if you're down by a certain number of runs, you probably don't have a chance to come back. So it's kind of mercy is probably the right word.
I think mercy's a little better, yes.
Yeah. I'm just saying that because I'm not saying that Fallston is out of the game. I'm just simply saying that there is an urgency to keep them without scoring in this top of this inning,
right,
even more than normal.
And to answer your question from the last inning, Maddie Burns is in center field. We weren't quite sure where she was.
It's actually the pitcher I wasn't sure where she went, Mary Path.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. But anyhow, we'll lead off now in the top of the 5th inning with Violet Molieri. Violet, the freshman catcher. Violet got on an error last inning. Back in that big rally in the 3rd inning, actually, 2 innings ago.
Here we go, Vic.
Fanned back in the 2nd. So we're still looking for number 22. Where are they hitting number 22?
She's right on the bench right next to you.
So I'm a little confused now how she could still be batting and out of the ball game. They do have there's a line drive in the center field that's going to fall for the base hit. They have that limited substitution rule where you can come back 1 time. So perhaps that's it. They let her bat this last time
perhaps. That's a new rule since when I played.
So Violet gets a base hit. That is the, 4, 8, 9. That's the 11th hit for Harford Tech here in this ball game. They've got 8 runs. They'll bring up Taylor Danielle. Taylor, the second baseman. Let's see, we have a
Number 1 is a courtesy runner.
Let's see, that would be Alyssa Lattimore. 15 for 11, so it means that Evelyn Colby is batting for Taylor Danielle. So put in Colby as the number 9 hitter. Now Danielle can come back in if the coach so desires. Line drive, base hit. Boy, she wasted no time.
That's how you pinch hit.
Exactly. You put me in the lineup, coach. I'm ready to play. There was a song about that, wasn't there?
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
There still is a song like that.
I like that song. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. We go back to the top of the order, and that's Lyric Strong. Lyric, the sophomore, came in as a .333 hitter, has a walk and scored 2 runs, also has a base hit and a stolen base. Down low.
Harford Tech is still remaining aggressive at the plate.
Yeah.
They're swinging at a lot of first pitches still.
Lyric scored in the first inning, scored in the 4th inning. Strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Victoria Hudson, the pitcher for. There's a line shot into left field. Caught!
Oh, it's going to be a double play.
Double play. What a play by left fielder Alex McDougal.
Wow. That could have had the potential to be a triple play.
It looked like it was going to go to the fence. McDougal comes out of nowhere, makes the catch, throws to second base, and gets the double play. Here's the replay. Just watch the jump she gets on this play.
Yeah, she had to because that ball was hit hard.
And had the common sense, the good sense to turn and throw to second base and get the double play. There's another one. Left fielder.
Uh-oh.
Could
That
just
one's
go
over her
overhead.
head.
It does go over the left fielder's head.
And hit the fence.
To the fence.
It's going to score 1
third
run.
and scoring 1 run. So we have a runner at second base on the double by Aubrey Gump.
Wow.
Aubrey.
And that makes that last play so important because they would have scored 2 runs in that case with an extra out.
So now we have a runner at second base. That's Colby. Now batting is Katie Burr. Double by Gump. That's Gump's 3rd hit of the game. Going down to third base on the wild pitch is Gump. Gump has now got a double, a single, scored 2 runs, knocked in 2. Tip foul out of the catcher's mitt. Play after that great play, and you made the great point, is McDougal saved at least 2, maybe 3 runs after making that catch.
Yeah.
Because that ball was hit over her head, had no chance to get to it. On the outside. The Cobras have had their hitting shoes on this entire game.
Yes, they have since the first inning.
Burr with a swing and a miss. Katie Burr, a 4th-year player, headed for Harford Community College next year. Swung on and missed. And the inning comes to a conclusion, but not before Fallston scores 1 more run. So they're going to lead now as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. They're going to lead by 9-1. They get 1 run on 1, 2, 3 base hits. No errors. There was 1 runner left on base, and again we played 5.5 innings. Pardon me, 4.5 innings. With
4.5, right?
Yeah, with the lead at now 9-1 for the Cobras. Well, that play, we've seen 2 plays, one by Sarah Frist on that diving catch in the first inning, and that play by McDougal. I don't think in any level you'll see better plays than those 2.
No, I agree 100%.
And as you said, McDougal's catch with 2 runners on base, the runner at second base, and don't fault her. That ball looked like, to me, I would have said that's at the fence. McDougal got a great first step and made the catch lunging to her left.
Yeah, I thought for sure that was a double or a triple.
So did Violet Molieri as she left second base and got thrown out on the double play. But the Cobras do come back and score a run on that big hit by Gump. Aubrey Gump star of the game. 3 hits, 3 for 4.
I think we have a pinch hitter.
We do have a pinch hitter, number 7, looks like Bree McDougall. Bree is the twin sister of Alex McDougall, who made that great catch in left field. So that's Bree batting for Alex. So one twin batting for the other. A 9-1 lead by the Harford Tech Cobras in the 5th inning. Strike.
That's what you want to do as a pitcher, get ahead, especially for a new batter. She's probably going to look at a few pitches first.
Yeah, coming off the bench cold, literally, on a day like this. Inside. Abby Reed, the great pitcher for the Harford Tech Cobras, and I say that great. You look at her stats. She's 1-0 in the year, coming in. Wow, 2 earned runs in 21 and a third innings with 33 Ks. Had that shutout win over Bel Air, that 3-0 win. Foul. Ahead now, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, those numbers are very impressive.
And she's taken this Fallston lineup. You look at this Fallston lineup, they're hitting over 500 as a team. And she has, to this point, shut them down. 1 run in 4 innings plus. Foul tip off the catcher. Count remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Umpire Bobby Carter takes time out to dust off the plate to make sure everybody's okay. One ball, 2 strikes, nobody out, bottom of the 5th inning. Bit high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was a good pitch. It was a good take also.
It was. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bottom of the 5th. Ground ball right in front of the plate.
Trouble.
Fielded by the third baseman. The third to first base, a nice play. Lyric Strong coming out and making that throw to Katie Burr for the out 5-3. Impressive play. If she had laid back on that play, it would have been very difficult.
Yeah, and she came up throwing.
Yep.
I like to see that. A lot of people, they'll stand up first and take a few steps, but it was all one motion.
The sophomore Lyric Strong making that play. Now Hudson, the young lady Victoria Hudson, who came in to pitch 2 innings ago. Ground ball.
Just fair.
Fair ball, throw to first base. And the out is recorded. Wow, what a
Another
stretch by
great
Katie
stretch.
Burr. Lyric Strong with the play, went down to a knee. I think she may have thought it was foul, realized it was fair, and threw the ball, and a great stretch by Katie Burr. Wow.
Oh, yeah, she was good. Her momentum was taking her the other way, so for her to get up and make that throw, an accurate throw too.
We have seen some sparkling defensive plays by both teams. Now this is the leadoff position. This is where Sarah Frist would normally be batting. This is number 9. Maddie Burns? Yeah, pardon me. Yeah, this is Maddie Burns, the second hitter in the lineup. Hudson had grounded out. Burns is 1 for 2, has a stolen base. Young lady who came in as a 789 batter. Up high. Two doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs among her hits. 17 RBI in 5 games coming in today.
Just tempted.
Must have been a bit high. Maybe a little outside. 3 balls and no strikes. 2 outs. You know, I'm not sure whether Abby realizes who she's facing in terms of her batting average, but could she be pitching around?
She could be, but with 2 outs, I would say no.
Taking the strike.
If there are runners on base, maybe.
Maddie Burns, senior, one of the captains of Fallston. 3-1. I have a feeling she's going to be swinging. And she was.
She was. Good cut.
Full count.
I think she might have been going for that fence.
Oh, yeah. Timeout as Coach Frist comes down, talking to his player. Brian Frist is first year coaching here, a community volunteer, as they call him, volunteer coach. 7-year baseball umpire. Running a great program here at Fallston. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. Change up, pop up, moving on to the shortstop, that's Wall. Wall cannot corral it, it's a base hit. Turning it first, and she'll hold on.
It's another one of those, and just in that spot. It's tough to get to.
Tough play.
And with the wind pushing it that way.
Yep, a very tough play. With 2 outs, they'll put Maddie Burns on at first base and bring up Allie Underwood. Allie, the sophomore, third baseman. She's fanned twice, so the number 3 hitter in the lineup, you're knowing that she wants to do something to help her team. Coming in as a .562 batter. Strike on that fastball. I'm going to call, there's going to be an umpires conference here. I'm not sure what this is all about. Bobby Carter goes down to talk to Ed Clay.
No.
They're going to move her down to second base now.
I'm not sure.
See if maybe we can condense. They're going to call him Bob Hamburg.
Oh, now she's gone back.
Changed our mind. So the umpires get together, and I have no idea. Yeah, I'm looking at the Fallston bench. We're all going, what happened? She went down to second. She came back.
After the fact.
Yeah. So no play.
No play. Yeah, I don't know if it was maybe a balk or I don't know. We don't have a pitch clock.
Yeah. Foul line drive almost took out the on-deck hitter. 2 strikes now. 0-2 is the count. Maybe we can convince the umpire to come back and tell us what happened between innings. Pop-up foul and out of play.
Oh, that almost hit the car.
It sounds like you were rooting for it to hit the car.
No, I wasn't.
Oh. We play games at C. Milton Wright where they have Route 543 right in the area where foul balls.
Yeah.
Also, Fallston, the baseball team, plays just off 152. Sun out brightly. Outside. Good take. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 out, runner at first base. It's Maddie Burns who got that little bloop hit a moment ago. Maddie 2 hits, 2 for 3.
Runner
Did she
going.
go? And she went. That's the 3rd strike. Umpire at the plate says, yeah, she went around. Bobby Carter says that is strike 3. So, Abby Reed limits the Fallston Cougars to 1 hit, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner was left on base. We played 5 full now. It's a 9-1 lead for the Harford Tech Cobras. See, that's 1, 3, 4 hits that Reed has allowed. She's fanned 1, 2, 3, 4. She's fanned 5. I don't think she has a walk looking through my scorebook.
I don't think there's been a walk the whole game, has there?
The
The very first batter, yes.
Lyric Strong walked to lead off the first inning for the Cobras and came around to score.
You know, and then the slaughter rule is still in effect. So.
So now we're calling it slaughter rule.
Mercy slaughter, yeah.
Yeah.
But it still is in effect.
It has a better ring to it, mercy, than slaughter.
It does.
Yeah, 9-1. Again, what my partner Barb is talking about is had the Harford Tech Cobras scored 2 runs and gone up 11-1, the game would have been called because it would have been a 10-run difference, and Fallston had batted 5 times. Mr. Umpire, trying to get the umpire's attention. He's ignoring me. He's taking lessons from my wife. What was that call? What was the call last inning where she went down to second and came back?
I'll tell you after.
Okay. The umpire says, I'm going to keep you in suspense, or something like that, he said.
He wants to keep the game moving.
There you go. Yeah.
Can't blame him.
I think none of your business was basically what he was saying. Timeout is called as Coach Frisk comes out. He has a word to, looks like they're going to put in a sub.
Going into left field.
21. Is that our new player that was just brought up? Yeah, that's Corinne Wood.
Freshman.
Just brought up from the JV, so.
Fallston's really mixing up the lineup. I think they're just trying to find out what works.
Like young Holiday with the Orioles making his debut. It's always a great thing when you get to play the first game. Barb, do you remember that when you were a freshman, your first game?
I don't.
Only 5 years ago. You can't remember that.
I know I was in left field. That I can tell you.
Yeah. I was left out, so it's the only difference. Oh, not funny. So now we go to the top of the 6th inning, and that's Abby Reed, the pitcher / batter now. Abby, the cleanup hitter. 2 for 3 on the day, actually 2 for 2. Got a single in the first and an RBI. Sacrificed in the third and got a single to the third baseman last time up. Headed for Lebanon Valley College next year. There's a changeup. Floats in low. Abby, a .333 hitter on the year. Down low.
Like another changeup.
Yep. 3 balls and a strike. Victoria Hudson, the pitcher. Line drive down the third base line. It's foul. Foul
that was close.
By a foot.
She got all of that ball.
And our new player, Corinne Wood, thought she was going to have a chance to.
Yeah, they always pick on the new guys, don't they?
They do. They find you. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Ooh, tough pitch to take.
And I had my count wrong. That is the third ball. Now it's 3-2. Where's that scoreboard when I need it? Pop up foul. Let's see. They're gonna. Oh, and they run together, and the ball falls. First baseman and the catcher. Obviously, that's the Abby Marmon, the first baseman. Ideally, you'd like to call the catcher off. The ball is spinning away from you.
Yeah, the first baseman's running in on that ball. It's an easier play for her.
Yeah. And we mentioned,
I don't know if they did call it. Sometimes everybody calls it and you just hear yourself.
Yeah, May Ambrose, the freshman catcher. Line drive, center field, and coming in, Maddie Burns makes that catch. That ball looked like it was going to fall for the base hit. Burns got a good jump and made the catch. So no harm done for the Cougars. They get the out. Brings up E.J. Rapp, the left fielder. E.J. had one of the big hits of the ball game back in that third inning. Got a RBI hit into center field. 1 for 3. Foul ball out of play. Well, hope you're enjoying this telecast. We get to do a game, Barb. We've rained out so many times. We've been waiting. Brian Frist was really interesting, the Fallston coach. He said, we're going to get this game in no matter what.
No matter what.
Bel Air was canceled today, their game, because their field was unplayable. So the young men here who did the great work to get this field playable. Again, they said at 11:30 they brought up dirt here and put it on the infield to dry it up. When I got here, it looked like maybe the surface of the moon.
Well, where did they get the dirt? Do you have extra dirt laying around?
I don't know. But they did a great job getting the field ready. Change up.
Oh, that looked good.
Not even fair. E.J. Rapp says, don't do that to me. If you ever played fast fit softball and you try to hit that change up, it's like, no.
Yeah, we used to practice with the pitching machine, and it was tough. Even though you know it's coming with the pitching machine, you knew it was coming, but you just got to get that timing down right.
Yep. Because you're used to being geared up for that fastball.
Right.
You've got just a millisecond to pull the trigger. Oh, hit her on the right knee. So going down to first base on the hit batsman is E.J. Rapp. So one out now, runner on at first. That'll bring up Michaela McGilton. Michaela has 2 base hits. She's 2 for 3. Got on a fielder's choice back in the 3rd inning and scored. Michaela, a junior, a 158 hitter coming in. That average has gone up. 2 for 3 today. Pop-up foul, half swing, and out of play. I'm glad to see Sarah Frist retrieve that ball. She was a young lady, the catcher, who left because of an injury. She's up walking and
chasing foul balls.
She's going to go get the other softball. We don't know the nature of what happened with Sarah, but that certainly is a crushing blow for Fallston.
Yeah, and I wonder if it happened on that great play she made.
Possible.
She laid out totally.
Yeah. All outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Michaela McGilton. Inside, 2-2. Michaela in the sports medicine program. Out of Abingdon, she would have gone to Patterson Mill had she not chosen to go to Harford Tech. Swung on a miss. Down she goes.
A little off speed there, I think.
You know, folks realize that, but you know, you get up, if you go to Harford Tech, you get up in your community, catch the bus at 6 o'clock, 6:15 in the morning, leave your community, go to an area where, you know, everybody's from different communities. You don't know anybody as a freshman. It takes quite a commitment if you think about it. And talking to this Harford Tech players before the game, every one of them, to a person, said they're so happy they made the decision. They're in a program they like, they enjoy. This Shy Wall, by the way, the shortstop batting. Talk about big hits. Shy had maybe the biggest hit, that double that turned into a triple when the center fielder made the error that knocked in 2 runs back in the 3rd inning. All those runs scoring with 2 outs. Foul ball at the plate.
Ouch.
Yes.
She looks to be okay.
Ball comes
Smiling
down,
a little bit.
hits you right in the ankle. 2 outs, runner on at first base. Down low. May Ambrose has done a good job as catcher for the Cougars. Fly ball center field, Burns moving. Back and puts it away. Ball was well hit, but Burns tracked it and gets the out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We have now played 5.5 innings with that 9-1 score. Mr. Umpire is going to tell us what happened.
Oh,
Ah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. The umpires now are telling us what happened was the plate umpire, Carter, Bob Carter, says he thought the ball went out of play. And he was corrected by his compatriots, and so they put her back to first base. That's why their runner went to second and back to first. By the way, the first base umpire came in and wanted to make sure that the center field, it said Clay, the center field camera was zoomed in on the strike zone. I'm not sure what he was trying to imply, that perhaps Bobby Carter had missed a strike or two.
No, I think he's been very consistent throughout this entire game.
And I'm sure Ed was just giving him a bit of a bar.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, they always say if you never notice the officials, they're doing a good job.
Boy, very good point. Yeah, when you notice the official, that means he's probably done something to get noticed.
Yes.
Here's Abby Marmon now. Abby, the first baseman, reached on an error. Scored the only run of the game for Fallston so far. Popped up to the pitcher last time up. All inside. Abby Reed has gone all the way here as we're now into the 6th inning for the Cougars.
She still looks good. Her speed looks good. She's still moving the ball around nicely.
Abby, a senior, her 3rd year on the varsity. That's a bit of a change.
And they're still swinging and missing for the most part.
Abby Marmon, a .529 hitter, 7 RBIs, 4 runs scored. Sophomore, like many of these Fallston players. Another changeup.
Oh, tough.
Third baseman off the glove. Getting on at first base safely. Lyric Strong making that good attempt. That's one of those do or die plays. You either make it or you don't.
You do, but she got her glove on it, so it kept it from going into the outfield, which might have meant an extra base.
So single for Marmon leading off this bottom of the 6th inning. Bring up May Ambrose. Ambrose 1 for 1. Sacrifice and then a single. Line drive.
Just over the pitcher's glove.
Pitched by the second baseman. Pops it over to the shortstop from Taylor Danielle to Shiloh Wall. They get the force out at second base. Another one of those squibers. We've seen a few of those.
We've had a few of those today.
So the out goes from second baseman 4 to shortstop 6.
A little surprised that she threw it to second, and she could have tagged the runner or taken it herself.
Yep. So reaching May Ambrose on the fielder's choice, 1 out. Elisa Rowe, the shortstop. Lisa has a hit. Pop up. Wind carrying it out of play. Boy, you can see the wind just move that ball. Looked like it was going to be close to the out of bounds line, but it ended up being, well out of play. Alicia Rowe, shortstop. 353 hitter coming in. Ground ball shortstop. Fielded well. Throw to second for 1. Throw to first base and safe at first base. Nice force out. Wall to Taylor, to Danielle, I should say. No chance at first base, so it's a fielder's choice. Force out. 6-4. 2 out. Well, you may be hearing the chatter going on near us. We're near the Fallston bench. Well, a lot of credit. You're down 9-1. Some people would sit back and say, hey, let's just forget this. Fallston players into the game. Change up.
And they have been the whole game.
Yep.
So to their credit.
Here's Mary Path now. And again, I'm confused, and I admit it. She was taken out as the pitcher. She's still batting. And we can't figure out where she's playing in the outfield or in the field. Up high. 2 outs now. Now the sun goes in. It seems when the sun goes in, the wind picks up.
It does. And you didn't tape this monitor. It keeps moving around.
Oh, now it's my fault.
Everything else is taped down.
I didn't tape the monitor. My partner has turned on me. up high. Been talking about catchers. Violet Molieri, the freshman for Harford Tech. She has done a wonderful job receiving Abby Reed today. You know that, Barb, as a pitcher, you're only as good as your catcher.
That's true, and you have to have confidence in throwing certain pitches and knowing that, you know, you might throw it in the dirt and they can block it, and you have to have that confidence in them.
2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner on at first base. That's Alicia Rowe, who hit into the fielder's choice, force out. Bottom of the 6th inning, that 9-1 lead for the Cougars. Swung on a miss.
Pitch. That's that off-speed pitch.
I said Cougars. It was the other C, the Cobras, with the 9-1 lead. And there's the strikeout. So that looks like the 7th strikeout for Abby Reed on the day. She's now pitched 6 full innings and that 9-1 lead. Remember, this game was 1-0. The Harford Tech Cobras, and then tied at 1 in the 2nd inning. And then a big explosion by Harford Tech. They get 5 runs in the 3rd, 2 runs in the 4th, and 1 run in the 5th to take that 9-1 lead.
Fallston's had some base runners, but they really haven't threatened too much since that 1st inning.
Yeah. And give Abby Reed all the credit.
Absolutely.
Kept them off balance, changing speeds.
That last pitch, we just watched the replay, and you said it's almost unfair. That one was unfair.
Yeah. And no walks. I mean, you know, you if you want to give people a chance to score, you put them on base, free. Don't make them earn it. But Abby Reed has said, hey, look, you know, if you can hit the ball, hit it, because I've got a good defense behind me, and you know we're playing good ball today. So now we go to the top of the 7th inning, and in softball, as you, I'm sure, know, 7 innings is the regulation. This would be the last inning, unless Fallston can do something in the bottom of the 7th to come up and tie it and force and here's the word, the phrase that in the band, you'll see the band begin to shake.
Yes.
We could have extra innings. Look, the band is shaking there.
Let me ask you this, because I notice in professional baseball, the very first extra inning, they put a runner at 2nd. Is that what they do with softball?
They do, and I think it's such a great rule. It just adds so much, you know, excitement, so much urgency.
Yeah, back in my day, they used to let you play at least maybe 2 extra innings without doing that, and then they would put a runner on.
And the reason, especially in softball, with dominant pitchers, sometimes the game could go on and on.
A long time, yes.
So now it really puts the pressure on the defensive team. So here are the Cobras in the top of the 7th inning, and we mentioned Violet Molieri, the catcher, and she's a young lady at bat. 1 for 3, reached on an error, got a single. Actually, now I'm gonna look at my notes, and it looks like they brought in a pinch hitter. This is number 8. This is Lexi Kurth. So Lexi Kurth batting as a pinch hitter.
Harford Tech hasn't mixed up their lineup too much today.
Yeah.
Fallston's done much more of that.
Pop up, third baseman moving and making the catch. That's Allie Underwood making that catch. So 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. It should be Taylor Danielle unless they brought in another pinch hitter. Yep. No, this is number 15.
No, it's number 15, yeah.
So it looks like another pinch hitter. This is Evelyn Colby. And that's right, Colby came in the last inning and has remained in. 2 strikes. There's the changeup up high.
That one had some funky spin on it.
The key is to make your motion look exactly like the fastball.
That is the key, and it's not easy. So what you do, you change the grip a little
Fly
bit.
ball right field, falling, diving. The ball is safely in there. Good play by the right fielder to keep it to a 1-base run. It should be Megan Watts, but I think Fallston may have replaced their right fielder. I don't see a number, but in any event, that's a base hit for Colby.
Now I think we have another pinch hitter coming in.
Looks like number
7.
This would be Lily Peters coming in for the Harford Tech Cobras. Colby is a young lady who came in pinch hitting 2 innings ago and got a base hit, so she is 2 for 2 on the day. One out, runner on at first base. Umpire Bobby Carter, I'm sorry. Bobby Carter's 7 for 22 means that Lyric Strong, the leadoff hitter, is being batted for by number 7, Lily Peters. Now remember, Strong can come in, back in again on the limited substitution rule in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And I would expect her to. She's played a great defensive game today at third base.
There's a little line drive into center field, falling for the base hit. Moving around second base, heading for third. Boy, that was some great base running by Colby, who took off on the hit and got it all the way to third base. So it's a base hit for the pinch hitter. That has to make you feel good. Lily Peters gets the base hit.
Yeah, I think the wind has switched directions. I think it's blowing in.
Boy, it
now.
has. So going all the way to third base is Colby. On at first base is Peters. I'm out on the mound. And we have another conference, and it looks like yet another pinch hitter is coming in. Okay, pinch hitting for Aubrey Gump is number 1, Alyssa Lattimore. Lattimore, you may remember, was a courtesy runner earlier in the game.
He's getting all his players in now.
So you go 3 for 4, you score 2 runs, you knock in 2, and they pinch hit for you. Come on. Aubrey Gump, you know, you look for stars of the game. She certainly has been one. Runners at first and third, 1 out. We're in the top of the 7th. It's a 9-1 lead for the Cobras. I think I know the rule here. If they were to score both of these runs and go up 11-1, I'm hesitating because I think they batted 5 times, Fallston
I think the game would be over, yes.
I believe the game would be over.
I think you're right.
We played a game a couple of years ago where they let the home team go ahead and bat in their half of the inning. But I don't believe that's the way the rule is stated.
Yeah, I think it's any time after 5. It's the way it is.
My point being, the urgency is not just because you want to bat in the bottom of the 7th, but because the game could end because of the mercy rule.
Yeah, and I'm surprised she's not stealing second.
Yeah, I guess you're up 9-1. Maybe that would be considered
right.
In your face, perhaps. Alyssa Lattimore batting now as a pinch hitter. And she hits a line drive into center field. That's going to be for the base hit.
That's going to score 1 run.
The 10th run will score. Boy, these pinch hitters have come in and done a job.
They have.
So the RBI for Lattimore. Scoring Colby from third base. Moving the pinch hitter Kurth up to second base. So now we have runners at first and second, and Katie Burr, the outstanding first baseman, to bat.
And that's that potential winning run at second.
Yeah, that's my belief. Yeah, it's 10-1 now, and if it becomes 11-1, that would be your 10-run rule, your 10-run margin. And there is still just 1 out. Burr is 1 for 4 on the day. Out of play is the call.
Great play, though.
It was. Hanging with it. You don't know where that line is. Go ahead and make the play.
No, and you got to be careful in that situation. If she does catch it in play, the runners can tag up.
Good point.
So it's all, you almost don't want to catch it.
Tip foul. Count remains. 2-2 is the count. Down low. Full count. Runners on at first and second, 1 out. It is a 10-1 lead for the Harford Tech Cougars. Into right center field. It's falling. It's falling. It's a base hit.
The run's
Here
coming
comes the
home.
throw to home. And the throw, she is going to be out at the plate.
What a play. Well, they called her safe.
They called her safe.
I think he called her safe.
He did give the safe signal. It looked like she was tagged out.
Looked like she was tagged out.
I'm befuddled here,
I am
partner.
too.
It looked like
not
the
sure.
tag was made unless she dropped the ball.
I don't think she dropped it.
Well, in that case, it would be 11-1, which would mean I'm wrong again about
Right.
the mercy rule. Pop up. It's going to fall into the second baseman's glove, making that catch. Peyton Griner. That's 2 outs.
And that would have been the 3rd out had he called her out. So I think
she
that confirms.
must have been safe. It looked like the ball was there. It looked like the tag was made. I don't know. So the run did score. Ground ball to first base, and that will be the end of the top of the 7th inning. So it looks like 2 runs are scored on a total of 1, 2, 3 base hits. No errors. With 1 runner left on. So if my figuring is correct, it's 11-1 is the score.
I think your figuring is correct.
And
if she was safe at home.
Yeah. The umpire gave the safe signal, and I guess I was anticipating that she was out because the throw was there. It looked like the tag was made. But then again, that's why I'm not being paid as an umpire. So I apologize that, again, I'm thinking the 11-1 10-run rule would mean the game was over, but apparently the home team must bat. Yeah, that's Director Mark is saying they get their last at bats, but the rule I thought stated that after 5 innings, once you batted 5 times, then all bets are off if you're down by 10 runs. So apparently we stand corrected, and we have been standing the whole game. It's 11-1. We can confirm that. And Fallston now has, one last chance.
A lot of work to do.
The great thing about baseball softball is there's no time clock.
Right.
So you can stay and play until you have 3 outs. Looks like we have another pinch hitter. We'll get that number for you. Strike on the outside corner. Looks like for Fallston number 24. That is Peyton Griner. No, and that is the second baseman. Cancel that. Griner is 0 for 2, popped out last time and grounded out to the pitcher back in the 2nd inning. Outside. Abby Reed, again, has gone the entire distance. We're now in the 7th inning. Swung on this, and down she goes. The 7th strikeout in the game. 7 strikeouts, no walks. It looks like she's given up 4 hits. Reed has 7 Ks, no walks, 4 hits, and just that 1 run that scored back in the 2nd inning. And that was an unearned run, so she still has just 2 earned runs all year.
Yeah, she's been impressive.
This is Bree McDougall, who came in to play left field for her sister last inning. One strike. Up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike 2 on the outside corner.
She continues to move that ball inside and outside and up and down.
Barb, as a former pitcher, do you get tired late in the game, or is that underarm motion?
No, you really don't, especially at this age. You
Yeah.
really don't get tired.
The adrenaline is sort of flowing. Ground ball. Moving on to the second baseman, Danielle. Shovels it over to first base to Katie Burr for the out. 4-3.
Yeah, I remember, you know, in tournaments, pitching 2 and 3 games a day.
Yeah. 2 outs, and the last hope for the Cougars is Victoria Hudson. Young lady who came in to pitch back in the fourth inning. So impressed with the Fallston spirit. You can still hear them yelling. You're down 11-1. I mean, you know, it would be hard to find fault if you said, hey, let's count our losses and sit down for a while. But they're all standing up, rooting on their teammates. Swung on this. Meantime, Abby Reed just keeps firing. I'm glad we had the chance to see young Miss Reed, you know, pitch. I looked at her stats and I said, wow, those are impressive. Foul back, down to the last strike now. But those stats are not, you know, false.
They're not false.
They're borne out.
And like you said, Fallston is a good hitting team, and she's kept them at bay for the most part.
And kept them off base, walking no one. And her defense has played very well behind her. Up high.
Hey, it's yours, Vic, it's yours.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bottom of the 7th inning, 11-1. The lead for the Fallston, for the Harford Tech Cobras, excuse me. Inside, oh, strike 3 on the inside corner.
And the game.
Wow, that's strikeout number 8 for Abby Reed.
We finally see a smile on her face.
So the Harford Tech Cobras win their 2nd game of the year. They're now 2-5. Fallston loses just their 2nd game of the year. They're now 4-2. As the two teams shake hands going off the field. Bob Solberg, looking again at this game, boy, you know, it's 1-1 in the 3rd inning. The Fallston Cougars, Harford Tech Cobras come up and they score 5 runs. The first batter in that inning, Lyric Strong, line out. So now you're 1 out, nobody on base. They get hit, sacrifice, 2-run RBI, fielder's choice RBI, double and an error to the center fielder, and just like that, it's 6-1. You know, you're leading, and from that point, then you add another 2 runs the next inning and 1 more in the following inning, and then 2 in the top of the 7th, and you win 11-1.
Yeah, the Cobras did not ease up at anywhere. The pitching, the hitting, the defense, it all just came together today. They seem like a very well-rounded team, and I know Fallston's a strong team too.
Yep.
But I think Abby shut them down today.
She did, and again, we talked about Harford Tech coming in. They had lost 5 games, but they had lost in very, very close fashion. No game more than 2 runs they had lost by. In fact, they had lost 2 games where they were leading and then lost the lead late in the game. But Abby Reed, young lady, is now 2-0 in the year. She has both of their wins. She has now pitched 28 1/3 innings this season, allowed 2 earned runs. Her ERA, which was at, 0.66? I'm not really good at figuring on the
It's going to be a little less, I think.
It's less. She fans 9 in this game. She walks nobody. You know, I mean, just any superlative that you can hand her away, she certainly earned it.
Absolutely.
And Aubrey Gump, speaking of superlatives, this young lady who was 3 for 4, fanned in the first inning and then got a single, and a double, and was a star of the game as a senior center fielder captain. That's what you like to see as well.
You do, and I guess they just kept being aggressive at the plate. mean, they didn't take a lot of pitches. They hit the strikes. They swing at the strikes and made good contact.
We don't know the condition of Sarah Frist, the young catcher, the sophomore, who made that great diving catch and then left the game the next inning with apparently some sort of a neck injury or something. We did see her up walking and chasing foul balls for the team. So we're hopeful that, you know, she's not seriously injured, that she can come back, because she is an impressive young lady.
Yeah, I was looking forward to watching her play.
Well, that's our game here from Fallston. It is an 11-1 win for the Harford Tech Cobras, who, again, as we said, improved to 2-5. Fallston loses their second game of the year. They fall now down to 4-2. Any final words to say about the Harford Tech Cobras?
I'm watching this game. I'm surprised at their record.
Yep.
I really am.
Yep. And maybe this is the catapult they need from this point on to have the confidence to go ahead on a run. And we certainly hope for their sake. And of course, with the Fallston Cougars, you know, they are so good, they're not going to let this win,
They won't. They
this
won't.
loss be a, you know,
No.
some sort of a bad factor. They'll just build from this. Well, so that is the game. Barb Solberg, thank you so much for being my expert
you.
commentator, keeping us straight here.
My pleasure.
We enjoy it, and thank the weatherman for allowing us to see this game without too much rain or wind or bad weather. Thank the Harford TV folks for helping us bring this to you every game. So that's the score here. Our final score, 11-1. The Harford Tech Cobras winning over the Fallston Cougars. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again real soon.